Again, looking at the situation at the Ukraine-Polish border, families. Again, this does not stop, Allison. No. They say about 100 a minute are crossing over. Think about that. In Poland alone, we've got 2 million people that have crossed over. 2 million people is the population of Chicago. The numbers from the UN this morning, 3.5 million. That's Los Angeles.
You just see the woman carrying that little baby there, and there's those 2 little girls.
Yeah, and you see the little kids, you just try to keep them happy. You know, you just try to tell them, we're just going on a little adventure.
Yeah, I mean, they don't understand. The teenagers do, but these little ones, they have no idea.
Look at the look on Dad's face and Mom's face. The little kids are fine, but Mom and Dad, they realize the reality of that. Let's welcome back Kash Patel. He's with us. Kash, I told you I want to talk a little bit about maybe where Vladimir Putin is, where his psychology is right now. And I want to play you a soundbite yesterday. He's talking about the necessary cleansing that might need to take place in Ukraine. Take a listen.
But any people, and even more so the Russian people, will always be able to distinguish true patriots from scum and traitors, and simply spit them out like a fly that accidentally flew into the mouth. Spit them out. I'm convinced that such a natural and necessary cleansing of society will only strengthen our country.
Kash, necessary cleansing. That's what jumps out to me. That's Yugoslavia, that's Hitler, that's World War II. Ethnic cleansing. Has something shifted with this guy?
Well, we have to remember the man's been a GRU intelligence spy officer's entire career. So you have to make sure you do not do what most of the Democrats have done in this country and just say he's a fanatic, he's a lunatic. That may be so, but he is also strategically planning for a Russian takeover of the Eastern European so-called Soviet Empire. And so when he says things like there's going to be a cleansing, I think you have to believe that in his head he thinks every action he's taking is to achieve that end result, which he thinks will become a reality, which is why we need to take it seriously and not just call him a lunatic and be dismissive about it.
But Kash, he can be both, right? Like Ted Kaczynski was calculated and planned, and then he pulled off the Oklahoma City bombing, right? So you can be both. You can be a madman and plan things out, right?
You're absolutely right. And that's the best way people should put it. But unfortunately, everyone isn't putting it as you are. They're either just calling it binary. He's a lunatic. Right. That's dismissive. That does not allow our leadership or the world leadership to take him seriously. He has literally instigated another world war, whether we want to label it that or not. He is literally firing rockets into an independent nation and killing human people. And also the refugee crisis, which no one is talking about. Those are results of an actual war. We see it in Syria, we see it in Iraq, and we saw it in Afghanistan. That is a generational disbursement of people that cannot be fixed in 20 or 30 years. These are acts of someone who is calculating, and as you said, Rob, also a lunatic, but he is calculating in what he does.
Blowing up buildings where children are.
Unabomber, by the way.
Kash, what is it going to take to stop him? Does something have to happen within his military or somebody in Russia? Because are we going to be able to stop him? Is Ukraine? What is it going to take?
Well, I don't think our commander-in-chief and our leadership is poised to stop Vladimir Putin, and he knows that, which is why he's marching on. I do agree with you, Allison, that what will stop him is a brave Russian individual who's willing to take on Vladimir Putin internally in his country. That individual will receive the global support of so many countries outside of Russia, but to do so, to have the gall to take on Vladimir Putin and the empire that he has built and the money that he does have, I think that's the only way we get a real resolution in this case without an outright surrender from the West.
Yeah, he's a sad little man right now, isn't he? It's really, you know, this is a guy he's worth, what, $200 billion? He could have lived in his dacha and been president of Russia until the day he dies. He's going to be a pariah on par with Kim Jong-un now until the day he dies. I just want to show you this. This is that theater. Kids were sheltering. They left their houses because of the bombing in Mariupol. This is that theater where the Ukrainian people we've got it circled in red. In Russian, that says children, to let the Russian Air Force know that, hey, there are kids in here. Bomb whatever you want. Don't bomb this building, which was a theater. You know, we're all going to meet our maker at some point, Kash. How long can the Russian army do this type of thing and then go home to their families back in Russia?
I think that's just the problem. The Russian army is commanded by someone who they are basically beholden to, which is Vladimir Putin. So unfortunately, these actions will continue. But I'm glad, you know, we are talking about it on Newsmax. Not many other networks are. And this is the one thing I want to leave you guys with is I've been to these refugee camps in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan. I've seen the bloodshed and tears of these family and children, and this is what's going to happen, what is happening as a direct result. And we're covering it now, but it's going to be a 20, 30-year problem.
Yeah.
And that is the message that needs to get across to the Western community.
Absolutely. You're right. Kash Patel, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. We appreciate it.